Hello. Okay, let's see here. Okay, so I'm going to try to stream this as long as I can. See if I can't marathon through these, and going to be encouraging people, anyone who shows up throughout, to donate to Black Lives Matter and to bail front funds across the country. Nobody's in chat right now because it's too early. Anyway, let's get started. Just copying some links here, putting up notifications. Alright, let's get started. Let's begin with the 1987 original. This one's one of the toughest games in the series, so expect me to screw up a lot. Nobody's on stream right now, so nobody gets to pick who I'm fighting first. So let's just do this in my preferred order. Maybe for future games I'll ask, hey, have you donated to Black Lives Matter? And if so, hey, you get to pick my next boss. I got to take some breaks today. I got some things I have to get out of the way, so I'm kind of weak that way, unfortunately. But let's see how far we get. But I'd like to keep this going as long as I can. Don't really know Twitch well enough to set up a donation tracker or anything like that, or know how to post links, but anybody who comes on, I can tell you where to go. I mean, it's... You know, heck, I think it's... You just Google it or go to ActBlue and you should be able to find it. So we're starting with Bomb Man stage. And, this one's pretty straightforward. He's a good, good starter level for anybody new to the series. I would say either this or Cutman stage are classic starting points. There's nothing really intensely difficult about these stages. The last thing you want to do is start with Elecman. There's a lot of stuff they had to sort of work out the issues with in Mega Man 1. I think it's a good thing that when Capcom agreed to make Mega Man, they set aside the budget to release Mega Man 2 as well, because Mega Man 1 is pretty unpolished. It has a lot of issues. I mean, iframes don't really work the way they should. There's a lot of glitches and bugs that pop up. Obviously, the one with the pause bug is fairly infamous, where you can cause enemies to continue taking damage, get through their invincibility frames, if you just keep pausing. Obviously, the score counter at the top of the screen was sort of something they decided right away was not the direction they wanted the series to go. Oop, well, that's gonna hurt. Okay, I'm a little rusty. Let's see how Bomb Man goes. So you see there, Bomb Man is, you know, you just shoot and jump. That's all there is to it. Nothing dangerous, nothing really difficult. So we're gonna move on to Gutsman stage. Bombs are Gutsman's weakness. For those unaware, in this context, Gatsu is, I believe, the Japanese word for a construction worker. So when they say Gutsman, they do not mean, like, viscera or intestines. They mean it in the context that he is a construction worker. So this is sort of infamous part here. A lot of people like to do a Lek-Man stage first. And try to go through a Lek-Man stage twice in order to get the platform that's hidden in that stage, so they can just skip that part, because the platforms there will drop you instantly if you fall through them. I mean, like, it's a serious instant drop. You do not get any warning. There's no chance to save yourself. So most of the boss designs in this game were done by Keiji Inafune. He did work on this game. He did not create Mega Man, that is true. But he had a lot to do with its development, and obviously became executive producer for much of the series' tenure. He did a lot of the design work and effort put into Mega Man X, I'll say that much. Alright. So, after all that nonsense, Gutsman himself is not too difficult. We just are going to have some difficulty with when he lands. The gaps in between when he lands cause me to... If I'm not jumping, it paralyzes me. Alright. So we're gonna do Cutman. Cutman's weakness is Gutsman's weapon. Unfortunately, you have to have blocks in sight to use Gutsman's weapon. So you're not only limited by the ammo that you're given, but by the number of blocks in the room. So a lot of people choose to do Cutman just with regular shot. Sometimes that takes less time, and it's really just can be less frustrating that way sometimes. But the Gutsman blocks do kill Cutman in 2 hits. But I mean, if you miss, you're just like, oh man. I guess for those unaware of the story of the game, so Mega Man is loosely inspired by Astro Boy. Tetsuan Atom, I believe, is the Japanese name. Atom. A-T-O-M. But at any rate, yeah, you know, Robot Boy here. Basically, you've got Dr. Light and Dr. Wily are the 2 scientists who created all these robots. Sentient robots, and then Dr. Wily decided he was going to use them to try and take over the world. So Dr. Light, that's the old man on the right-hand side there, he has 2 robots that are still loyal to him, Rock and Roll. Roll is the blonde girl on the right-hand side, so we got Rock here on the left, and he agrees to get turned into a fighting robot, called Mega Man in the US, or Rockman in Japan. So we're going to hunt down each of these 6 robots that Dr. Wily has stolen and turned into his evil minions, and every time we beat one, we get their power. And each of them is weak to one another's power, so there's sort of a rock, paper, scissors mechanic to the whole thing. Let's see here, what else? So this game actually came out around the same time as Street Fighter did in the arcades, and Keiji Inafune worked on both. So they're recognized as having virtually the same anniversary. But they're pretty much two of Capcom's biggest mainstays, obviously. Alright, there we go. So we took him out in the 2 hits with the 2 blocks provided. So you didn't get to see much of Cutman there, but he just sort of hops around and throws scissors at you. Not very threatening when compared to some of the others. Speaking of which, this is the most difficult stage in my opinion. We got Elecman. Elecman can knock you out in about 3 hits. He's extremely strong. And this whole stage is a tower climb. So if we fall, it can set us back quite a bit. These enemies here can only be paralyzed with my normal shot. They cannot be killed. So I'm using the Bomb Man's bombs to sort of clear them out so that I can make this climb here a little bit easier, a little less interference. Elecman's weapon is also one of our the best. You get the most utility out of it. It can destroy blocks. It goes in 3 directions. Extremely useful. The disappearing and reappearing blocks are a mainstay of the Mega Man series. We'll see them in Iceman stage as well, but you just really have to learn the patterns and time it appropriately. Some call them Yoku blocks in the fandom. I'm not sure if they have an official name. I think it's somebody decided that was the sound they made. Alright, so this is the Magnet Beam. It's a special platform we can use to cross gaps. The only way to grab it is to either come back to this stage with Elecman's weapon, or to use Gutsman's weapon to just clear off those blocks. There is a bug in the game that allows you to clip through the walls. But you can accidentally trap yourself if you don't do it properly, so it's not advised to try that without some method of kind of recovering your game. But we can get a demonstration here of how the Magnet Beam works. We can just create our own platforms and jump through there without having to worry about the beams in the way. And here we come to the top of the tower. I'm not sure I'm going to be able to beat Elecman on my first try here, because I'm going to have no health left. So I'm just going to take a hit here, respawn with full health. Alrighty. Alright. Alright, so fortunately Cutman, his blades take out Elect Man in 3 hits, which is good because Elect Man will kill us in 3 hits, so... Yeah, so very difficult to kill Elect Man with normal shot, but it can be done. Alright, we're doing Iceman. If you shoot these things in the legs, then the head goes flying and attacks you. Alright. So if we use the cut blade, we can take that guy out pretty quickly. So we got some more disappearing, reappearing blocks here. Now I could just use the magnet beam to get through here, but I'm going to want to have that in a second to get through a much more difficult spot. Alright. There we go. Second verse, same as the first. Oop, overjumped that. Alright, that's fine. Yeah. So glad there's not a hole here. Alright. So there's a huge risk here of falling in the hole. These platforms that shoot at you are extremely random in terms of how they move about. And yeah, unfortunately this pattern is going to make it nearly impossible for me to really do this without sort of cheating my way through this. This is not a good pattern. Oh, and I fell. Okay, yeah. See, you fall a lot faster in this game than in later games, so it's difficult to control your descent. Well, hopefully we get a pattern this time where I won't need the magnet beams because, well, as you can see, I'm about halfway out of magnet beam. Alright. Ooh, that's a little low. Okay. And if I get shot here, I can fall very quickly. Or just, you know, clip through the platform. Yeah, that happens. Did I mention this game was, just a little bit rushed compared to Mega Man 2 and 3. Although 3 has its fair share of bugs as well. Alright, so we got no lives left. Alright, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'm going to just say screw it and... let's take this as safely as we can. Just stop for nothing. Alright. Like I said, you drop so quickly, it's hard to pick up that, extra life there. Alright. Alright, so... Iceman himself is actually a fairly predictable fight, usually. We should be able to use Elect Beam to tear through him fairly quickly. And by fairly quickly, I mean in 3 shots and didn't take a single hit. Boot. So we got a choice between Fireman, 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 and Fireman. We're gonna go with Fireman. This stage isn't as difficult as Iceman's was, but we're going to take a lot of damage along the way is the problem. And there's a lot of spots where it can be nearly impossible to get by without doing so. I think as far as the stage designs in this game go, this and Iceman were the 2 stages where I just felt like they did not do the greatest job. But again, this is so early in the franchise history. I mean, have you played the first Street Fighter game? It's terrible. Come at me, you know? I'm waiting for people to be like, oh, the first Street Fighter game was awesome! No one thinks that. Alright, this part in particular is just like, how are you supposed to dodge through that? You really wind up taking the hit no matter what you try to do. Unless you freeze them with Ice Beam or use the Magnet Beam to get through here, it's ridiculous. So those sliding doors kind of became a mainstay of the series, to the point where people complain when they're not there. But the funny thing is they were put in the game because they needed a way to load this stuff from memory and put in the boss information. So it was really originally developed as sort of a cheat on the part of the programmers, but it's such a beautiful way of doing things. Becomes such a important part of... Okay, I did very poorly on that fight, but we won anyway, so that's all that matters. If you stay really close to Fireman, it becomes a little easier to dodge when he shoots you, because one of the biggest problems is when he shoots those flames, it leaves behind a trail. You really have to be careful. Alright, so we're going into Dr. Wily's stage. I have no lives left, so I don't think this is going to go well, but we'll see. So... Dr. Wily always flies a flying saucer, and whenever you get to his stage, we always get to see his trademark eyebrow wiggle there. Alright, so this thing always respawns. That's the problem. It's completely random whether it does the high hop or the low hop. And since we don't have a slide until Mega Man 3, there's not really a reliable way to get by him. He can only take damage when he's jumping. Alright. So we're going to use Ice Beam to try and freeze these on the way down. So we can jump through here. Alright, let's see if I can grab that health. No such luck. Okay, I don't know if I'm gonna make it through this stage. I'm doing very poorly so far, but ow. Again, Elect Beam is a fantastic utility weapon. Serves so many different purposes for you. Alright. Let's try see if we can get some back here. If you do not have the Magnet Beam, if you did not pick that up, you can actually not get through this stage because there is going to be a room coming up where we have to use it. That was close. I almost fell on the spike there. Alright, this next room is very trolly because we have the return of Iceman's moving platforms. And they're just as random and as fickle as ever. You can fall right through one, clip right through it, and it just does not care. Alright. Alright. So again, if you don't have the Magnet Beam, you can't get up here. It's just not happening. Alright, now we have another staple of the series. This is the Yellow Devil, aka the Rock Monster. He's going to come flying at us in pieces. And, basically, you gotta memorize this pattern, or else you're gonna get torn to shreds. We pretty much... It's possible to get 2 hits in, but I'm not likely to do so. Classically, people would use the multi-hit bug here, the pause bug. But we're playing on the Legacy Collection version. I don't think I can use that here. Again, it's not entirely necessary. Alright, so that's first of 4 Wily stage bosses down. The Wily's Castle is usually divided into between 4 and 6 stages. Several games have multiple castles you have to get through, though. I do not have a good feeling about this stage. It usually takes me multiple lives to get through, and we have, again, still just the one. We're going to see some refights in this stage. Cutman and Elecman are going to come back. So, this is weird. You kind of fall through the stage here, and here comes Cutman. And, well, we got no blocks this time, so we're just going to have to wear him down. Yeah, I'm doing very poorly right now. I'm sure you're getting sick of hearing that. Somebody start a counter on how many times I've said that. Alright. So we have our good friend Elecman coming up. Yeah, alright, so I definitely do not have enough health left to fight the boss, so we might be in huge trouble. Because this boss is extremely random. I have enough Magnet Beam left to get that, so let's go ahead and pick it up. That might save us. Sometimes hitboxes are a little funny in this game, too. Alright, let's pick up that extra life again. This is the only game that does that in the series, where the extra lives and health and weapon pickups respawn. Kinda nice. Alright, well, we definitely want to refill our Elect Beam here. Okay. Oh, I do not like taking that hit. Okay. I'm not doing well today. You're so sick of hearing that now, aren't you? Alright. Here comes the copy robot. This is, he's gonna mimic whatever weapon we use on him. But the little shield that the Fire Blast creates will stop him from jumping into us, which does a nice job of protecting us from his him ramming into us, which actually damages us rather than him. So Fire Blast is by far the best weapon to use on him. Alright, so we're going into the third of 4 Wily stages here. This is a fairly short one. It's an underwater stage. Did not want to take that hit. Alright. I guess we're just taking the hit and rushing through. Alright, they're gonna start sending penguin bombs after us here. So I'm just gonna keep shooting. And now we switch to the regular bombs from the penguin bombs. Things get a little hairier. You really want to hit these things the instant they come on screen, otherwise that explosion is going to kill you. And just let the wave carry us. Alright, so this boss fight, we have 4 bricks here, but there are, I believe, 8 of these machines. So we're going to start out with regular shot. And these get faster as they come through, so we're going to save the bricks for the last 4. And that's got it. I cannot remember what that boss's name is. It's a string of letters and numbers, so... Alright, so this last stage is a gauntlet. We have to go through the 4 remaining bosses, one after the other, and then we face Wily himself. Oh, I wanted to give that to fire. Oh well. Oh, this should be interesting. Alright, I'm gonna give this one attempt here. There is a hidden Yoshiki here. I think that's the term they use to describe the... Capcom had this symbol that it uses. Oh, I screwed it up. I screwed that up really badly. Okay. You're supposed to wait at the edge there and jump to the platform, and I did not do that. That is entirely on me. If I have to continue, I have to continue, you know? I mean, who cares about your score, anyway? Because if I continue, I lose my, my score. Anyway, let's, fill that up. Oh! Oh! I thought I made that. Okay. Well, like I said, we lost our score. But that's... Hey, you know, it is what it is. This is the only Mega Man game in the series that gives you a score. Sort of a throwback to the old arcade days. Alright, so we got full on everything, so I'm just gonna use... Hey. Love the little army of Gutsmen up there. So we're just gonna skip this. The Yoshiki Yoshiki refills everything, and obviously there's a nice little extra life down there, but, hey. We're beyond that now. Alright, so let's use, Bomb Man's weakness on him this time. So unlike in later Mega Man games, they do not refill your health between these fights, so I have to be very careful here. Okay, that didn't go as well as I would have liked. Alright. Let's see if we can have better luck here with Iceman. Better known as Bobby Drake to some. That's an X-Men reference. Okay, how many lives do I have left? Should I just take the hit? I'm just gonna take the hit, and we're gonna come back to fight Dr. Wily with full health. So let's see here. So this is a fairly typical dance with Dr. Wily. He'll come at you with some hovering machine of death, and, you know, it's going to have two forms, usually. You break off the armor, and... Oh no, it's got a second form. So you have to fight through 2 health bars. Fortunately, Fireman's weapon tears apart the first form extremely quickly. So we're going to take advantage of that. And now we're going to switch to Cutman's weapon, as it gets multiple hits in. And that's that. GG. Not a great time, I'm sure. What was that, like 47 minutes, something like that? Probably more. Too many deaths in Iceman stage. Too many, you know, I had to continue in this one. That was kind of ugly. Mega Man has ended the evil domination of Dr. Wily and restored the world to peace. I think they changed the text here for this version of the game. However, the never-ending battle continues until all destructive forces are defeated. Yeah, they definitely changed the translation here from the original. Fight, Mega Man, for everlasting peace! So that's, I think people would have rioted if they changed that line. Fight, Mega Man, for everlasting peace! Well, on that note, if anyone's watching this, I think you should fight for peace by making a donation to Black Lives Matter, to bail funds. There goes Keiji Inafune's credit there. He was always credited as Enough King. And there we see Mega Man without his armor on, so he's Rock, right there.